Guess what? Have you ever had any of these thoughts or said these things about yourself? I'm worthless. I'm such a piece of shit. Everyone hates me. I'm so ugly. I'm so fat. I'm such a loser. No one loves me. I hate myself. Anybody ever said any of those things about themselves? Right? Looking in the mirror. I'm too short. My chest is too small. My butt's not big enough. I'm such an idiot. I'm such a failure. This is the inner critic. This is what is opposing you. You're at war with yourself. And I'm here to tell you that that war needs to end, and it should end right now. It's time to make peace with ourselves. Do you realize that your image of self is the most important part of your reality? How you perceive yourself, what you think about yourself, is what is your reality. Someone might ask you, hey, how you doing today? And you're going to say, I'm good. But if underneath the surface, you're miserable, hating your life, hating who you are, feeling like a piece of shit, that is what you're truly giving, not the lip service. It's not about what you say, it's about how you're feeling. And people don't know how you're feeling. And a lot of times, even ourselves, we don't know how we're really feeling. Angry, mad, happy, sad, right? There's the four basics. 3 of them are negative. Only one positive, happy. But when was the last time you even actually felt happy? Could you feel happy just doing life on life's terms? Or does happiness have to involve other people or other things or substances or some other person winning at their life, and you're there sitting back saying, my life isn't important enough that I have to sit here and post up and cheer for someone else and act as if I'm the one winning? You're not winning. You're not winning that. That's an illusion. That's total fantasy. That somehow someone else winning is going to mean you're winning. It don't work that way. And I don't wish it did. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. But when we look in the mirror, and even when we're just laying there in our bed, trying to get to sleep, and we can't stop the fucking inner critic from going round and round and just beating you down all night, beating you down all day about how shitty you are, what a failure you are, how fucking bad you have turned out to be. And I'm here to tell you, none of that's true. None of it's true. It's all lies. It's all an illusion. That's an illusion, just like you cheering for someone else is an illusion. And you're like, no, but I'm hearing it day and night and day. I hear that inner critic. Anybody hear that critic? Day and night and day. It never stops, does it? It never stops. Does your inner critic ever give you a break? Very rarely. That's why you run to the substances. That's why you hit those escape routes. What do I mean by escape routes? Escape routes is anything that can give you a little temporary relief from that, from those burdens, from that critic, right? It just takes you out of your mind. It gets you distracted off of how you're really feeling about yourself. Why are people so afraid to sit there in silence and ask themselves, how am I really feeling right now? Why is that such a difficult thing to do? I was talking to some people yesterday, really great conversations. And one of them was talking about how they had a lot of self-awareness, but they just weren't ready to put in the work, to really start to do the self-forgiveness and start to love themselves because of all the things that other people did to them. That's what's so crazy. Some of us, we've done shit to other people and then we fucking hate ourselves for it. I'm in that camp. But I've had people do bad shit to me, and that's left me feeling pretty frustrated. And also just feeling like, man, I've failed. I have failed at life. And in doing that, that makes it like feel like unforgivable. When we make these mistakes, when we hurt other people, we get so down on ourselves. And, there is a restoration process for that. But at the end of the day, do you even realize why you hurt the people? Were you really angry or were you really scared? Were you really angry at somebody? What is the control thing? What is that fear that then gets converted into rage, leaving people scared of you, where you're uncontrollable and you're just lashing out? Aren't you, when you lash out, are you not asking for help? Are you not crying out for help? Are you not crying for someone to just see you and hear you and understand that you're hurting and that you need some help? Isn't that what we're really doing? And we need to get to a place where you're able to take care of yourself the way that a lot of us are willing to take care of others. That's what somebody said yesterday, that it just feels easier to help other people than to help themselves and to do that work. And it's so sad, because even helping other people isn't helping them. Oh shit. It's that crazy. You going and thinking you're going to rescue somebody from their anguish and comfort them and soothe them is also them avoiding doing the work in their lives, and they're codependent, right? So they're needing someone else to give them validation because they don't want to do the work themselves. So they're crying out for help. Help, help. I don't feel good about myself. And then you're like, well, I don't feel good about myself either, but if I rescue this person, right, I can make them feel better, and at least I'm making a difference. And it's like, what is the intentions? It always comes down to the purest of intentions. I talk about this all the time. I volunteer with a big national response organization, disaster response, Team Rubicon. If you've heard about it, check them out. And I can tell you that for many, many, many years, many, many, many hours volunteering, I would get the call to go and fly to distant places and help people that had experienced natural disaster. And guess what? I was doing it to feel good about myself, to be the rescuer, right? All while avoiding the disasters that were all around me in my personal life. And I had to fucking look in the mirror and realize that, damn, I'm doing this with the wrong intentions. It's a good act, but it's the wrong intentions. You can apply it to someone that gets their heart broken. And this is out there a lot. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying that there's more to do when I talk about this. So I know a lot of people, you get your heart broken, and so you get that revenge body, right? You go and put in the work. You turn yourself into a sexy little thing, right? Because you were so complacent in the relationship. You let yourself go, but now you have this extra fuel, this anger of rejection. And so then you go and put in all that work. Physically, it's only one leg of total health. Physical is only one aspect. And yet you get into that next relationship, you attract somebody that's all physically attracted to you. You haven't done any emotional work, right? You use the weights to reduce stress, but it doesn't help to control a subconscious trigger that's emotionally based. And so when you're in that next relationship and you realize that the honeymoon wears off and you're getting triggered and you're still acting in ways that leaves other people feeling unsafe because you haven't done any of the mental and the emotional work, right? You find yourself heartbroken again. And then you start thinking, oh man, well, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just keep attracting all these narcissists. It's like, man, you're like attracts like, right? You're a narcissist. If you think you're attracting narcissists, you're a narcissist. That's no cap, no lies right there. It is the truth. Most people don't want to accept that though. I know you don't want to accept that. You're like, nah, that's not true. You don't understand how bad these people treated me. And it's at the end of the day, you get caught up in what's called the drama triangle. You're either playing the persecutor, the victim, or the rescuer. And a lot of people are looking for opportunities to rescue, because in doing things, you're seeking, the real intention is you want validation, right? You want to feel like you're doing something good. But here's the thing, rescue yourself. This is the results kill excuses message. Self-rescue. Put in the work, right? Don't just get the body, right? Do the emotional and the mental and the spiritual work to truly look in the mirror and start to really love the person you see. And know that there's a lot of areas that you have power that you can improve. But yet, as someone said yesterday, man, it's just so much easier to go and help other people. Well, that's because they don't feel good enough or worthy enough to help themselves. And we haven't learned this stuff. This is new, right? It's like it's been out there, self-development, self-improvement, self-mastery. This stuff has been there, but it's still just not popular. It's not popular. However, it is coming online more and more each and every day. People are realizing that, man, I don't like this. I keep trying these things and I'm not getting the results. And that's the definition of insanity. That's madness, right? Is you keep trying to do things because you want relief. But what you really want is to feel at peace with yourself. What you really want to do is trust yourself. What you really want to do is to have someone else show up for you and love you the way you say you love. But here's the thing. There's probably a good chance you don't love yourself genuinely. You love other people because you want to express love and have other people feel good. And then you think it comes back to you. And it's like, no, love yourself. It's what's underneath the surface that comes back to you, not what you do or say. It's where is it coming from? Is it coming from a pure place of intention, unconditional love, expecting nothing in return? Or are you doing things, right, with strings attached, saying, oh, okay, if I do this, then I'm going to get that? Just do. And ultimately, before you do, you got to be. Be love. Be kindness. Be generous. Be giving. Be warm. Be loving. Be kind. All of these things. Be the positive, beautiful things. I talk about this all the time, especially in terms of relationships, right? For you to sit there, again, Mr. Scargle coming through here, it's a test. You got to write this shit down. Write out who your dream partner is. All of the aspects, not just sexy, not just beautiful, not just a good cook. Are they healthy? Are they honest? Are they committed? Right? Are they emotionally available? Everything that you can imagine. And it's not just one session. You could give yourself a week to do this, days, because you're just going to keep meditating and trying to put together the perfect ideal partner. And then you already know the next piece, don't you? You got to become that person. And obviously, if you're a man, you don't become a woman, or a woman, you don't become a man. Again, that's just being distracted. It's the attributes and the qualities. If you're a man or woman, you can be sexy, right? You can be beautiful. You can be authentic. But are you willing to do that? Or are you just going to continue to act like it's okay, act like you care about yourself, but really that critic inside your mind, inside your heart, is constantly, you're never good enough. You're never going to get ahead. You're not like them. You're a failure, right? And then you're wondering why you keep attracting these things, why your reality keeps on reflecting back to you what's really going on underneath the surface. Like if you're somebody that says, "Oh no, I give kindness everywhere I go and love," but then your outlook on life is that it's treacherous, and this world is full of people that are just out to get you, and greedy, and selfish, and it's like, what is that real core belief inside of you? Because even if you're giving love, if your core belief is people are inherently bad and selfish, and this world is a shit show, and you don't have any trust, well, that is what you're really giving, and thus that's what you're getting in return. Again, your intentions need to be pure. You have to go through and do this cleansing. Well, how does this work? How does it all work? How do you go from having a negative self-image to having a positive self-image? It is a process, and it starts with first acknowledgement and awareness that, one, you are doing these things, that you are really beating yourself down. And again, this is a writing exercise. Everything I'm talking about is writing. And then we meditate on it, and then we visualize, and then we continue to just, affirm ourselves. And this, I don't know, it's the wildest thing why so many people are so afraid to do this work. Why so many people would much rather go help someone else cleaning their house or moving, and they won't clean their own fucking house. And I'm talking metaphorically, and I'm talking spiritually, and I'm talking literally, right? Like we'll go do something for someone else that we're not willing to do for ourselves. What the fuck? And that's because we want what? Acceptance. We want to feel like we belong. We need to feel like we have connections, and it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. These are all bullshit connections. The connections you have right now are more than likely just total bullshit if you haven't done the real work. Because when you do the real work, the reason why most of you won't do it is because what's going to happen when you start to go through the self-discovery, self-development, self-awareness to self-mastery process, people that are toxic, people that are all emotionally wounded, they're either going to pull you, drag you back down, or you have to let go and move forward with your life. And many of the wounds that we have emotionally are rooted in needing to identify ourselves with a group of people or friends or whatever it is. And we can't imagine ourselves having a season or two or more in singularity when we do this whole life alone. You do the whole life alone. Ain't nobody know what you're feeling. Ain't nobody know what you're really thinking other than you. You do 100% of your life all by yourself. And yet we don't want to invest in working on ourselves, improving ourselves. We don't want to look in the mirror and say, you know what, right? I'm overweight. My health is not the best. Am I willing? I want to be able to improve my health, and there's things you can do, right? It's knowing what can you change, what can't you change, right? Can you change the shape of your nose? Sure, with a certain amount of money, you could. Oh, well, you don't have the money to do stuff like that because you're not privileged. Well, then what's your belief on money? Could you do something that would attract enough, that would make you valuable enough to have that kind of wealth, that if you wanted to change your dang nose, right? It's just, but there's also a thing to just look in the mirror and say, I really love who God created me to be, that I'm one of one. I am special enough. And that when I start to be authentic to myself, true to myself, and a lot of that takes a lot of forgiveness. It takes a lot of like really opening up your mind and your heart and your spirit and realizing that, can you forgive? I know it's hard to forgive ourselves. I struggled with this for almost 10 years of therapy. And what's beautiful is you don't got to do 10 years of therapy, because now that I have figured out how to do this, we can collapse time, right? Your goal is way closer than you think. It's literally mental and emotional shifts, aligning yourself spiritually, having the awareness to realize that you're misaligned, having the awareness to realize you're not in a good environment. An example I have is, I'm out here in northern New Mexico. It is beautiful. I do appreciate everybody that enjoys the nature. But it's like, if I was to take a palm tree from Southern California and plant it here in northern New Mexico, would it grow and thrive? No, it wouldn't. Does it mean that that's a bad palm tree? No, it just means it's in the wrong environment. Just like if I took a tree from here and put out there in Southern California, it may not thrive in that environment. What makes you any different? If you're not thriving, you're in the wrong environment. Well, the number one environment that you have control over, what is it? Your mind. You have control over your mind. You may not think it, but you have control over your mind. And you can reprogram your mind. You can reprogram yourself. But this takes work. And this is what I'm trying to reach many of you with, is to say, are you willing to put in the work? And if you're ready to start putting in the work, type in "results kill excuses" into the App Store. Download the app. Don't just download it and sit on it. Be willing to do the work. Be willing to do the work. Well, what work? Because work's a 4-letter word. Most of us hate our jobs. So why do I want to do extra work? This work is not work. It's investment. Do the investment of improving yourself, of learning about yourself. What makes you tick? Right? There's 5 courses in there. One of them's, yes, I'm holding myself back. Right? I've got 99 problems, and guess what? Positive solutions for everyone. Relationship makeover, right? Which relationship needs to be maked over? The ones with your ex, right? The one with your mom, sure, those could use help, but you don't have control over how they respond to you. The relationship that needs to be improved is you, the one you have with yourself, this self-image. It's all the self-image. Right? And then we got one that's called breaking up with my addictions. And it's not just hardcore drugs and alcohol. We got lots of different addictions, things that control us, that we think we have control over, but we don't, if you can't do life without it, to feel normal about yourself. And so I'm really encouraged by everybody that's been downloading the app and everybody that's been investing in themselves. You will get a return on every minute, every hour, every time that you put in the effort to invest in yourself, to improve yourself, to learn something new about yourself. You're going to always gain something back. But if you just keep sidelining yourself, you just keep trying to help other people thinking that's taking care of you, it's not. Moms have the hardest time with this. Moms inherently are like, they're kind of burdened. They're burdened, and it's a responsibility. It's a labor of love, it's called. But it's like they intrinsically have to, because this life form was created inside of them and birthed from them, and they feel so attached to that Thus, they literally will sacrifice themselves in order to nurture and care and, take care of this other human, all while forgetting to take care of themselves. I asked 2 ladies yesterday, who are the top 3 people you love the most? And if you're new here, who are the top 3 people you love the most? Who are they? Who do you love the most? Comment down below. And the thing about that pop quiz is I've asked hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that question, and most people get it wrong. They fail. Why do you think most people fail? Did you fail? If you didn't include yourself on the top 3, ask yourself why. And I've had people try and argue with me and try and debate it. Oh, well, that's so obvious. It's like, it's not obvious. You have to be aware. You have to have awareness to say, you matter. You're the only person that you do 100% of this life with. You can have attachments like, oh, I love my mommy so much, or I have my 3 babies. I love them so much. But wait, you're not on the top 3? You, the person that does all this life, you don't care about that person enough to acknowledge that they're worthy of love? This is the self-image. Well, how do you start loving yourself more? By taking care of yourself. By doing things that are good for you, not bad for you. When you do bad things to yourself, and what are bad things, right? There's a lot of bad habits. Some of them are chemical. Some of them is just overeating. What are you eating? Is eating unhealthy food every single day taking care of yourself? No, I talked about it yesterday, right? You should treat yourself like you would a little baby. You need to be cared for. And the truth is, it's no one's job to care for you. No one has that assignment on this planet. When we find people that we say we love and they say they love us, what most adults have realized is that that love can be there one day and gone the next. So then who's the person after? All brokenhearted, all sad. Or even if, you lose somebody because of some kind of tragic thing. Well, who's the person after? All sad, all grieving. Oh, I can't go on without. It's one thing, I get the grief. Grief is a real thing, but so is acceptance. And then that's where the spirituality comes in. What is your belief? Do you think you'll never see these people again? Do you really think that was your child or your spouse and they're gone, and how can I live life now? Do you think that if they're still, do you believe, what is your belief about life after death? That's a whole nother conversation that I think is the spiritual health. It's understanding, what is your truth? What do you believe about life? What do you really believe is going on? Do you believe that when you die, you either go to hell or you go to heaven? And if you didn't learn about this person or that person, or believe in this or believe in that, you're going to fucking burn forever? What is your beliefs? Right? Or do you believe that this is all a simulation and that we're all connected? We're all energy. Energy never dies. And there's proof of this. And that maybe that if you failed this lifetime because you didn't awaken, which I think most of you hearing this message, it's your time. Your time is now. But you need to follow through and respond and stay locked in. Don't look for the quick fix. But it's getting to that spiritual peace. And I've talked about ways that you can seek confirmation, ways that you can take the burden off of you to make the decision and look to the spirit realm, to God, to give you confirmation. You can do this. You can do it. And I guarantee you're going to get the answer. And maybe you're going to still be in doubt, and you can do it again. And you're going to get another answer. And you could do it again and be like, I still don't believe. It's still too hard to believe that this is really what's going on here. Right? The beautiful thing is that there's no right or wrong. There's just being. And are you being the best version of yourself today? That's what it boils down to. Will you give yourself permission to be the best version of yourself? Will you take on that task? Or are you going to just continue to sit around and hold on to things that are gone? Like the past is gone. Do you realize this? The past no longer exists. It's gone. It's gone. But yet you have attachments to it. And I think most people, because of those attachments, they're grieving. You're either in denial, you're still negotiating. Why did I have to grow old? Why did I have to lose that? Why did that have to happen? Right? You're bargaining. You're either depressed or you're angry. About what? The past? It doesn't exist. There's only now. Even in the future, there's only now. That's it. That's all we got. That's all we got. And so, will you make the most out of this day, this moment of life? Will you invest in putting in the work to improve your life, starting with your self-image? And that starts with awareness. We go back to that. Are you aware of how critical you are? Will you sit there and with a piece of paper start writing down, as I started this video, all the negative things you tell yourself? You got to check that shit. Not even joking. Don't do it even in a joking manner. Self-deprecating humor, kill it. Kill that shit quick. Only positivity and things that build you up. Even if it feels inauthentic, you're better to be going towards the light and towards abundance and towards love, loving yourself. And cut the crap with that sarcasm. That sarcasm actually on the emotional wheel falls under being mad. Mad isn't angry. Angry is literally rah. Mad is insanity, madness. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a better result. It's like your habitual patterns, eating unhealthy and wondering why you're so fucking fat, right? Continuing to turn to pornography and wondering why you're not attracting real connections that are fulfilling in your life, right? It's like that's madness, and thus sarcasm falls under that. It's starting to really, really, really measure your words. Say what you mean and mean what you say. And if you're saying shit that puts yourself down in a joking way, you need to cut that shit out real fast. Put a halt to that. Kill it. Kill it. And start speaking life into you. I'm speaking life into you. Thank you to everyone that's been watching this message, all the new subscribers. If you've made it this far, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm so grateful to be here, to be connecting with you. Share some of your stories. It touches my heart. It warms my heart. As a badass motherfucker, my heart is warmed when men are opening up their hearts, their minds to share their stories. Share your perspective. Share your wisdom. This is the Results Kill Excuses team. This is what we're doing. We're here to build each other up, to cheer for each other, help each other up. But we're not here to rescue each other. I can't rescue you. I can't do the work. You got to do it, right? And if you're ready to do it, get on the app and start putting in the work. Investment, invest, and you will get the reward. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it won't be worth it. Greg's out.